semester videos, my algebra friends. Today we are going to do a lesson presentation, and it's going to include learning how to solve systems of equations in two variables, and we're going to solve by substitution. Let's get started. If you want to write these two equations down, that would be wonderful. All right, what I notice about these two equations is that they are both equal to y. Since they're both equal to y, that means that I can make them equal to themselves, each other. So I can take x plus 3 and make it equal to 2x plus 5. Letters to the left, I'm going to subtract 2x from each side. Negative x plus 3 is 5. Numbers to the right. Negative x is 2. Dividing by negative 1, x equals negative 2. Now I've got to take that negative 2, plug it back into one of the original equations, and y is going to equal, substitute again the negative 2 in place of the x, plus 3, and y equals 1. The final answer, I have to take the x value and put it first, and the y value and put it second. Okay, example number 2. Go ahead, pause me for a moment and write them down. Now what do I notice on this equation is one equation has x equals and the second equation is not x equals. So I can't let them equal to each other. However, I notice that this x equals can be substituted in the place of that x. So what I'm going to do is take out the x at the bottom, leave everything else the same. Whoops. That's an equal sign right here. So I'm going to take everything out. Oh, come on. Come on, little guy. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take equals 16. And in the place of this x, I'm going to put 2y minus 4. Now I have an equation to solve. 2y and 8y is 10y minus 4 is equal to 16. Move the 4 to the other side. Divide by 10, and y equals 2. Now the easier equation usually to substitute it back in for is the variable that's by itself. So I'm going to take x equals 2 times the y value I just got minus 4. So I'm going to take this 2 and plug it in place of y. And 4 minus 4, x is 0. You have to put an intersection point, which is going to be the x value, and then the y value of 0, 2. Okay, more fun. Example 3. Sometimes you have to use distributive property when you substitute in the first expression for the second variable. Let's look at one of these. Okay, write down example 3. Again, notice one variable is by itself. So I'm going to take that variable. I'm only going to put parentheses around the y. So I'm going to take out that y. Let's see how we do that. 3x plus 2, drop out the y, equals negative 5. Now in place of the y, it's negative 6x plus 11. So fill in negative 6x plus 11. 3x plus distribute, negative 12x plus 22 is negative 5. 3x minus 12x is negative 9x plus 22. I need to subtract the number, to the right. Negative 9x is negative 27. Dividing by negative 9, x is going to be negative 3. Then I'm going to substitute that back into the y equals equation. And y is equal to negative 6 times x plus 11. Since x is negative 3, I substitute that in. Negative 18 plus 11, and y is negative 7. So I'm going to fill in negative 3 for the x value and negative 7 for the y value. Now these equations again have been pretty easy. Now let's go on to a more difficult problem. Write down example 4. I notice the y is by itself, so I'm going to take the y and substitute it in for the y at the bottom. I'm going to rewrite 3x minus 2, drop the y, equals 9. And in place of the y, I'm going to fill in 2x plus 8. Drop down the 3x. I have to distribute the negative 2. So that's negative 2 times 2x, which is negative 4x. And negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. Combining like terms, that's negative 1x minus 16 is 9. Add 16 to each side. Negative x is 25. Dividing by negative 1, x is negative 25. Now I realize I'm doing this pretty quickly, but feel free to pause me or slow me down a little bit and rewind. Now I need to take the negative 25, plug it back into the x. So y equals 2 times x plus 8. Since x is negative 25, that's negative 50 plus 8, and y is negative 42. My intersection point, the x goes first and the y goes second. All right, get ready for example 5. Again, I'm going to circle the y variable and plug it in. Rewrite the second equation, leaving out the y. In place of the y is going to be negative 2x plus 5. Now there's nothing right in front of the parentheses, so I don't actually have to distribute anything. I can just drop the parentheses. 2x plus negative 2x plus 5 is 1. And do you see how these x's cancel? I'm left with 5 equals 1. Well, the last time I checked, 5 is never going to equal to 1. This problem has no solution. And can you think of how two lines can have no solution, which means they never cross? Exactly. The description of these lines would be parallel lines. So they are going to go like this. One is going to cross at 5. The other one is going to cross at 1, and they're both going to have a slope of negative 2, so they will never cross. All right, we need to try a word problem. Jenna is deciding between two cell phone plans. The first plan, I'm going to call Y, is a $50 sign-up fee, and it costs $20 a month per month. The second plan is going to be Y. It's a $30 sign-up fee and $25 a month. When she signs a one-year contract, which one will be cheaper? When will they be the same, and what will the costs be? So the first thing I have to do is find when the costs are going to be the same. So option 1, I'm going to use T for total paid equals $50 for the sign-up fee plus 20 times M for each month. For option 2 is going to be 30 plus 25M. Now what I'm going to do is take these two equations and make them equal to each other. So I need to do letters to the left, numbers to the right, and then solve to get the number of minutes. Here's my equation. Whoops, excuse me. Here's my equation. I'm going to do letters to the left. I think I'm going to do my letters to the right so that I have a positive number of minutes or months. That gives me 50 equals 30 plus 5M. Subtracting 30, I get 20 equals 5M. Divide by 5, and M is 4. Now I have to plug back in the 4 into either equation to find out how much they are. So I take 4, I think I'm going to plug it into the first one. So 4 here, that's going to be 50 plus 20 times M, which is 50 plus 80, which is 130. My next step is to write these as an ordered pair, and my solution as an ordered pair is 4, 130, which means in 4 months the total cost is going to be them to be the same as $130. The last thing I have to figure out is which plan is cheaper. Okay, option 1, I plugged in for 1 year, and that's 12 months. That's $290. Option 2 for 1 year is $330. So obviously option 1 is the cheaper option for 1 year. She should choose the first plan because it costs $330. All right, that's enough for today, Bearcats. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.